Thank you, Sanjeev. Respected FC Shehzad Shaji, advisor to the project, accounting reforms project, Nilesh Ji, who's sort of organized this whole program, the managing directors and director finance of all the railway PSUs who are present here, the financial advisors of railways from all across the country, my dear friend, Vice President of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Sanjay Gupta ji, senior officers from the railway boards, from CAG, from Niti Aayog, from the CGA and Post and Telegraph, as also the probationers who are the IRS professionals. And most importantly, the ICI ARF team, I would say, who are present here and who have toiled, I would say, day and night in NWR and in Kapurthala to achieve the first, I would say, milestone, which we saw the release of the three, projects which are completed, and other cost accounting colleagues who are here. I think we are having a very tough time. You have had lunch, you had a session after that, and no tea break. So I know there's a huge challenge, but I'm sure my co-panelist, Satyendra Kaushik ji, who's going to speak on accrual accounting challenges and solutions, Mr. Goyal ji, who's the advisor of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, who's going to speak on performance costing, process and application, and Venkateshwar ji, who's going to speak on the outcome-based budgeting, intent and practice. Before I sort of lay some basics for the session, let me express my happiness as well as my pride in being associated with this project for various reasons. A, we are part of a very milestone sort of achievement which is going to happen in the government with this particular project. More importantly, I was very happy with my interactions with the Railway Minister, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised, starting with, I just see Nandaji over here. Nandaji, before him, Mr. Mukherjee, Salecha ji, Shehzad ji, and the whole team, Venkateshwar ji, the way, in a very partner-like spirit, we have worked together in achieving this milestone. A lot of other colleagues whom we have worked with. So, very happy to be part of this project, and very well, handled project, I would say. The theme of the session is accounting reforms in Indian Railways, opportunities in China. That's the last session. And let me share with you our experiences. First, we'll look at the challenges, and the challenges itself will create opportunities. So what are the challenges? What we have observed in our exposure as far as the NWR and the Kapurthala project is concerned. The first and foremost is the process of capturing the data needs to be systemized and synchronized. And I can just share a couple of examples. Typically, we say expenditure is an expenditure. But in accounting, an expenditure is either a revenue expenditure or a capital expenditure. And what we have observed from our practical experiences, that many times, sometimes we see the revenue expenditure is being met from the capital demand and vice versa. And which can result to, results which could, we have observed that. May not be, that may not be the, but this is experience. Normally, I'm saying we'll have to be more, sort of focused and careful in these things. In these two projects which we have seen. So this is one of the, what is the result of this? It is possible that the assets are understated, expenditure overstated, or vice versa, depending on how the accounting has gone in. Then we have seen, of course, as all of us know, liabilities are not recognized in the system either on utilization of the service or on the receipt of the bills. Only on the payment basis we sort of look at the payments. Accounting of contingent liabilities needs to be, whether the court cases, the cases for land dispute, the claims, the arbitration claims, I think that needs to be. So what we need is, we need to have filters to be installed at appropriate places to capture the requisite data. We need ensuring the completeness of the data collected. It's a major hurdle based on our experience on the accrual system as well as the fixed asset register. A lot of also challenges in that area. For example, a lot of the donated assets are not being captured in the fixed asset registers. So, and also whatever data is there, whether data has been validated properly, whether data is correct, whether they've been collected in the right manner. So I think we need to have a checklist as far as data accuracy is concerned, any inconsistency. The fixed rate register, I think, needs to be improved. And the most important challenge which we faced was the difference between fixed asset and capital WIP, I think, is not noticed in the application. So we'll need to segregate the capital work in progress as and when we look at the fixed assets. And for all these, we'll need the IT, integration. We have seen different systems like software like MMIS, IPAS, E-Recon, TMS, etc. But all these are standalone. If we ultimately want to get into an accrual, we need to sort of integrate these, so that there are seamless results which can be done for the MIS purposes, for accounting purposes. What we have done is, apart from the basic accounting observation, we have also looked at the accounting policies and the accounting principles, and we have come out with along with the railway team, on the accounting policies and this thing. We have come out with the notes to accounts and the accounting policies. We'll have to have a lot of training across the system. We already had 4 sessions. This is the 5th session we are doing. More training for the people in the railways for addressing all these issues. On the accounting side. And now I'll come back to the ultimate aim of this whole thing. As the Minister said, Honorable Minister of Railways, Suresh Prabhuji, cash to accrual or single entry, double entry is the basic thing. The ultimate aim, as Chopraji also mentioned, is the outcome-based budgeting. But from accrual system to outcome-based budgeting, the intermediary stage is the costing stage. And a preliminary experience or exposure in the Kapurthala, I think we'll be having a huge challenge as far as costing is concerned. As far as allocation of overheads, I think which is currently not being done as per the costing principles. In one particular unit, we'll have to see all across. The data of installed capacity, capitalization not available, and lot many things, that 20, 30 things, the preliminary things we observed. So though the desire is there, I think from Mr. Mittal mentioned that 2 years is too long a period. We need to do things in jiffy. But at the same time, I think we need to understand there are a lot of ground realities. And right from cash to accrual, on the costing system, we'll need to purify. There are costing system, but we'll need to sort of fine-tune it to the what is required exactly for ultimately getting into the outcome-based budgeting. So this is my preliminary observations. I think we have experts over here. In fact, Satyendra Kaushik ji is, of course, again, a very, very, I would say, our interaction with him has been so good. Very knowledgeable person as far as the railway accounting is concerned. He is going to add value. And the other speakers on the dais, so we'll wait for that, and then we'll have an open Q&A session. Thank you once again. We are very, very happy to be associated with the railways as far as ICI is concerned, and we'll look forward to a much more robust partnership. Thank you.